Welcome back to the channel once again, everyone. I am joined once again by my good friend Aiden O'Neill. We just saw Scream 5 a couple days ago.
Yep.
We figured give it the weekend to think it over before we get into our deeper thoughts on it. What's up, Sean? What's up, Poe? Thanks for coming.
Hey to Sean. Hey Poe, if you're still here.
Yeah. So, how you doing, Aiden?
I'm good. How you doing?
I've been better, especially after seeing this movie, but we'll get into it.
Mm-mm.
Before we get started, I
Okay.
guess it is rather proper to kind of reiterate what our thoughts are on the whole Scream franchise, because I was going to review all these movies for the channel over the month of December, but it just became impossible to do so. Too much came up. But we'll get over it right now before we get into our thoughts on the new one. Scream 1, pretty much a classic. Like, it's kind of like, it's not as much like Halloween where there's like, what more could you say about it? But yeah, it's a classic with its meta humor and referential style type storytelling. The characters are iconic, like Dewey, Gale, and Sydney. They're all great. It's a film that pretty much saved the horror genre at a time when it was pretty much rotting. So it deserves a lot of credit. Scream 2, I'm actually going to be honest, it didn't hold up as well as the last time I saw it a few years ago, but I still like it. I think it's really good. I'm going to say this right now. Of these four original films, I like all of them.
Good.
But there are a lot of things about Scream 2 that kind of feel repeated, like with the boyfriend being the suspect, Dewey and Gail's relationship. And one of the killers revealed at the end. I was like, really? That's the best motive you could come up with? And I'll just say that right now, it's Mrs. Loomis. Loved what they did with the Mickey character. That was pretty genius. But for a franchise that's much smarter with how meta it gets and motives and all that, the best they could come up with is, oh, Billy's mother comes back wanting revenge. Like, that's it. But
That's
yeah,
it.
that's it. Yeah, that's it. But I still like Scream 2, but yeah, I'm probably gonna piss people off with where it is in my ranking. But we'll get to that. Scream 3, I prefer it over 2. Sorry. It's just more enjoyable. It actually is advancing things a lot further for better or worse. They're at, like again, Dewey and Gail's relationship. It feels like things are being taken to the next level. I like that they get engaged by the end. And this is just me. This is my personal preference, but I liked the reveal at the end and the ways that they kind of changed things story wise and kind of tied things back to the original. I thought it was clever with Roman and his backstory. Yeah, there's you could say there's a plot hole or two, but I buy it. I liked it. It was kind of refreshing for there to be one killer, which kind of makes sense because they're painting it as, oh, he's been the mastermind of everything the whole time. So it probably would have felt weird in this one if there were two killers like usual. So I really like Scream 3. Scream 4, not to spoil my ranking, but it's high. I really dig this one. The way it not just the way it digs into horror remakes and the notion of screwing with the original, but Wes Craven kind of called it on how people would start using social media to get famous and the lengths people would go to get famous. It was kind of like the original where Scream 4 I feel like was also kind of ahead of its time too. So really enjoyed it. Your thoughts, Aiden, on Scream 1 through 4?
First movie is a classic. Like you said, it really did reinvent the horror genre, and I think I think it's essential for every horror fan to watch. Scream 2 I thought was a good follow up. Wasn't as good as the first one, but still a damn good sequel. Uh Scream 3, uh I'm not sure how I would rank these movies, but I think Scream 3 would probably be my least favorite since there's only one killer, and it's really fun to pinpoint like which killer was did what, and since Scream 3 only has one killer, it kind of takes that away. Scream 4 probably might be my favorite out of all the sequels. I just love the grittiness to it, like even though it's still kind of, even though the film does kind of have still have a comedic tone and is kind of, and it is pretty unrealistic. It is definitely the grittiest. It's still the grittiest out of all the movies, maybe with the exception of the new one. And yeah, I think it's the best sequel, and I think the Scream franchise is essential for every horror fan in general.
Very good. So with all that in mind, let's get into Scream 5 here. I really liked it. Aiden?
Oh, that's it. Okay, I liked it too, but I do think it has some problems.
Yeah, we'll get into that, but yeah, I'll just say this right off the bat. I think we both agree. Wes would have been so proud.
Absolutely.
Now, with that being said, this is going to be spoiler free for the first bit. We'll let y'all know when we get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, rest assured, we are keeping it spoiler free for maybe 5-10 minutes because this is pretty much a movie made to kind of talk about it spoilerish. But then again, that's
Mm,
most of the Scream movies. So
yeah.
I'm actually gonna let Aiden start off every category for this one, and then I'll get into what I thought. Our positives, spoiler free for Scream 5.
Positives. Okay. Seeing the original cast, always great. The new characters I really liked. I do think they could have been fleshed out a little bit more, but overall, I found them likable. I found them believable. The acting was great. Let's see what other. What's another category I can tackle? Zach.
All right. Like I said, we'll go through each category spoiler free, like you first, then me. But yeah, my positives again, how they were able to honor Wes Craven's legacy with all the tropes of the
Wait,
Scream
Zach.
films and all
Didn't
that.
didn't you just hear me go through my one of my positives?
I did.
Okay.
But like I said, the way they were able to honor Wes Craven with not try to one up him or try to say, "Oh yeah, we can do it better than him." These were the right people to get on board. I think these are the guys that did that Ready or Not movie, which I've only seen like when it first came out, so I don't remember that much about it, but it was good. But
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like yeah, these were the right guys to get on board if you were to do a Scream movie without Wes Craven. They do right by the legacy characters. They're all great, especially David Arquette steals the entire show. Not just out of these three original characters, but out of everyone. I think, yeah, he definitely steals the show with his screen time. And something else I really liked is that they were able to make it a darker, more serious Scream film, but still able to delve really deep into the meta and self-referential commentary that this franchise is known for. All that's great. The kills, pretty good. There's some good gore here. I still probably maintain that Scream 4 is more brutal. Just like friggin' cop stabbed in the head. Like you remember that shit, Aiden?
That was funny. That wasn't brutal.
Fuck Bruce Willis.
Yep. Fuck Bruce Willis.
So, Bruce Willis,
Yippee-ki-yay,
if you're watching, We love you. But yeah, but overall, like,
I doubt Bruce Willis is watching.
you never know. But
Yeah.
and I also think they did really well with the new group of characters. Like really hammering at home the fact that this is their story. While the legacy characters are still important, they really did a good job hammering at home that this really is about a new generation of characters. Maybe passing the torch, maybe not, but still, I liked the new characters they got here. Your thoughts on that?
The characters.
Yeah, like with with the new cast.
Uh, I already gave my thoughts on that. I said I thought they were. I thought they were. I could have been fleshed out a bit more, but I found them entertaining, and I thought the acting was good.
Very good. Now, again, Aiden will start off each category, and then I'll get into my thoughts. Mixed aspects, spoiler free.
Mixed aspects. Okay. Uh, fuck, I don't know, to be honest. Okay, okay, maybe one. I would say the fact that they had them all related to certain characters, like Randy's nephews and his nephew and his niece. I mean, and Sam being Billy's daughter. Um, at, at, from a certain point of view, it seems neat that they would have that from like a nostalgic standpoint, but from another standpoint, it seems kind of phoned in, and it doesn't really serve any purpose.
I actually like that they did that. Like story wise, it gave the whole film more of a sense of purpose. So that way it didn't just feel like, oh, we want to make another Scream film just for the sake of seeing Ghostface kill more people.
Cool.
Something I'm actually pretty mixed on is I'm not gonna give it away, like we're no spoilers, but the reveal of the killers. Not who was revealed, but just the way they were revealed, like how it happened. Or at
Hmm.
least the first person, like the first reveal, like just how it all of a sudden happened. You probably know who I'm talking about. It's just like
Yeah.
it's just like the other one I actually think they did pretty well, but the reason why I mixed on the second reveal is because it was a character I was really starting to like, and oh, please don't make them the killer. I really like this person, so you probably know who I'm talking about there.
Yep.
But so yeah, not bad. These are good reveals. It's just it happened pretty fast.
Wait, do you think it's wrong to spoil the fact that there are two killers in the movie?
I think, I think it's aside from three. I think everyone expects two killers at this point.
Yeah. I mean, when I texted you when you were in the theater asking you if you knew who the killers were yet, I put the S in parentheses because I didn't want to spoil the fact that there was two killers.
Yeah, but that's all right. I was expecting two killers because again, aside from three, that's pretty much the status quo in a good way, like that because it's pretty much what they do. But other than that, not much that I'm necessarily mixed or split on. I guess you could say maybe there could have been 5, 10 more minutes added to the runtime, at least for the ending. At
Mm.
least, at least post climax when everything's simmering down, you know, and they've already taken care of business. Like there should have been at least like 5, maybe 10 more minutes to, you know, breathing room as far as before the credits roll. All
Yeah.
right, we'll let
Uh,
Aiden take this one and
one thing though, I've one of the positives, I like the fact that they were I like the fact that they invented their own that they coined their own term, requel. Well, it was right. Yeah, requel.
Yeah.
Like it's basically what they're satirizing is like a sequel to something that is basically also a remake that like retcons all the other sequels, although this film does not do that, thankfully.
Shit.
That's just gotta turn that shit off, bro. Anyway, that's basically just another aspect of the film that I liked.
Yep. Alrighty. But, so, like I said, at least for me, not necessarily anything else that I'm necessarily mixed or split on. So, that being said, we will get into our negatives. Take it away.
Uh, let's see. Uh, the killer reveals, particularly the first one, I think could have been done a bit better. Um, let's see, what else are my negatives? I think, oh yeah, I think the main cast should have been given more time to shine because I feel like I mean there's nothing wrong with putting the legacy characters aside to focus on the new characters, but if you're going to do that, you should at least make the new characters like a little more a little more interesting, like why do we need to focus more on these characters as opposed to the characters that we've known for like 5 movies.
I can get that, but you can see where they're coming from with this kind of being a passing of the torch.
Yeah, I know, but still, though, I think they should have had something more a little more important to do rather than just simply being related to other legacy characters.
I'm still standing by that being one of the positives for me because again it gave the story more purpose, so that way it didn't just come off as making another movie just for the sake of seeing Ghostface kill people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But like I said though, that was one of my mixed aspects, the whole everyone being related to the legacy characters.
Yeah, I think the only like I guess not like a big negative, but it kind of ties into something I just said where this should have been like maybe 5-10 more minutes added on for like the ending scene, like not like the climax with the killers, but like after that, like before the credits roll, there should have been 5-10 more minutes.
Why do you think that again? That there should have been 5 to 10 more minutes? Oh, I guess I'm all alone now. Huh.
Sorry about that, but what were we saying? Sorry.
Why do you think there should have been like 5 to 10 more minutes again?
Uh, Not necessarily pacing, but so that way it's breathing room. So that way it doesn't feel like it ends just as soon as they defeat the killers and all that.
Yeah,
So that's pretty much my only negative is that the final like ending scene kind of felt like it ended too soon.
yeah. Uh,
But oh, and there is an actor in this. I'll actually say this, that an actor that I'm a huge fan of. Who is it? Who was in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake? That overall, as an actor, I'm a huge fan of. That should have been used a lot more, just for namesake. We'll get into that into spoilers. Speaking of which, for anyone, it's been about 20 minutes, so we are about to go into spoilers. So that is your warning. If you have not seen Scream 5,
Before you do that, is Deshaun in the backstage?
I didn't see him.
He asked for a link. I sent him one.
Yeah, I didn't see him. But yeah, like I was saying, so this is your warning. If you have not seen Scream 5, we are about to talk about the meat on the bone.
Hmm.
Spoiler warning for Scream 5. First thing I want to talk about is how they really kind of subverted expectations with the first kill, if you will.
What was the first kill again?
Or at least who we thought was going to be the first kill, which that shocked the hell out of me with
Oh, oh
Sam's
yeah.
sister. Her name was Tara, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That was a surprise. I really liked how they did that. Like she survives the beginning, and you're thinking, oh, she's in the hospital. The killer's just gonna get her there. She survives then, and she just pretty much like she lives through the whole movie. Like that's clever, guys. I liked what you did there. It's Last Jedi done right.
Not only does she live through the whole movie, she kills one of the killers.
Yep, I really liked that they did that.
Yep.
Again, it's doing something new. It's innovative. It adds something new to the franchise, and it's kind of a mix of you having the familiar type of opening scene with the killer calling the one chick, attacking her, and all that. You get something familiar with that whole setup, like every Scream movie does it. But then it pulls this shit, and it's like, okay, I see what you're doing there. I really like that. Oh, we got Sean in here. What up?
What up, Deshaun?
What up? How y'all doing
We're
today?
doing pretty good. We're in the spoiler section for Scream 5, so feel free to talk away about all the stuff you liked.
You want me to do
So,
it now? I could wait. Y'all get done talking.
you can give your
I
quick
mean,
thoughts real quick on what you thought of the movie.
Okay. I actually enjoyed the movie, even though I almost walked out on the first side of the movie in the movie theater. But I, stick to the movie. I enjoy it. But here's the negative part about the movie that I don't really like. I thought the movie was very um very predictable. When I go in the movie, I say, you know what, I know who the killer gonna be, even though they kind of spoiled in the trailer. Even though I know who the killer was, but I kind of do like the movie. I do think it better than Scream 2 and 3. And four and five, it up down might be my top three. But I think that Scream 5 is better than Scream 2 and 3 by far. But the only
I
problem
agree.
I had with the movie that it was very predictable and stuff.
Very
And
good.
also, I almost nailed for the first half of the movie. Thank God, damn.
Indeed, indeed. Another thing I kind of want to talk about with spoilers is, as I was just saying, there is an actor in this movie, Kyle Gallner. They cast an up and coming name like that for this movie. I think his biggest gig he had since the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and he's pretty much the first like actual kill. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
sorry, could
Um,
you repeat that?
Yeah, it's like the actor they got in this, Kyle Gallner, who's pretty much the first actual kill of the movie. You cast him in this role and you don't use him.
Who is he again?
He was the first actual kill in the movie.
I I don't remember. Could you refresh my memory? What happened there?
He was the guy who was stalking one of the chicks on Instagram. They were talking where he was kind of a creeper at the beginning. He was
Oh
looking at his
yeah,
car. That guy. He was played
right.
by Kyle Gallner, who I think is a more up and rising star. He's probably had other big things he's been in I just haven't seen, but I feel like this is at least the biggest thing I've seen him in since the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and they don't even use him. He's like the official, like actual first kill in the movie.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just a random thing, but that kind of bugged me. That's kind of a personal thing, just because I'm a fan of the actor. But ah, let's rip the Band-Aid off. Uh, they they pulled the plug. It took them 5 movies, but they actually did it.
Yep.
Ugh, funny, funny. So they killed Dewey. Ugh, oh, oh, Dewdrop, man. I don't. You say it first, Aiden. I still gotta collect myself.
Fuck, man. I can't believe they finally killed Dewey. He was one of my fucking favorites.
He was my favorite character in all the movies.
He was like he was like always there for Sydney whenever she needed it. Like he always he always knew what to say, except for that scene in Scream 2 where he calls Gale a bonehead. Um and yeah, he was just a great character.
Yeah,
Sad to see him go.
yeah. What makes it hurt a lot more is that they were really making him the emotional core of the movie. Him and Gail are divorced. He's down on his luck already. He's not even like a cop anymore. Oh, Dewey.
Yeah, our favorite surprise about his death scene. Our favorite surprise.
It was brutal as shit too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It
Absolutely.
was an honor. Like the oh yeah, I'm sure it was. Very dick thing for a ghost face to say.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think what really brought the waterworks for me was 'cause actually watching him die was hard enough, obviously. But then later, like Gail comes in and they see the medics carrying his body out, like, oh, that did it.
Yeah. Heartbreaking shit, man.
But I guess that also becomes a positive in the movie because it brings Gail and Sydney back together. It really gets them involved finally, so and it leads to a kick-ass scene at the end. Like I'm so happy they gave that revenge to Gail.
I am too. Satisfying as hell.
Yeah, like it's like it was once upon a time in Hollywood all over again for that one chick.
Yeah, you know she was in that movie, right? She got burned to death too in that movie.
Yep. So I was able to spot that right away. It's like, oh, I see what you're doing there, Scream 5.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that brings us to the reveals of the killers. I guess we should start with the first one. I guess she was more or less the accomplice and not the main killer, but she was the first reveal. Um, who actually thought Amber was going to be a killer? Just because they barely showed her in the marketing.
Uh, I mean, I didn't really pay attention to to the marketing, but they did have posters that's with a tagline that read, the killers are in this poster" or some shit like that.
Yeah, and it's always someone you know, I think, but so yeah, she was the lesser of the two. She was just the accomplice. She wasn't the mastermind. Richie, by the way. I think that was his name. That's the dude from the boys. Like, I guess a lot of people are saying that for some reason they were thinking he was going to be the killer as soon as he was casted, but
I already
I
know.
just looked,
Oh,
I just looked at it and I saw, oh, it was my one of my favorite characters from the boys. Like that actor is in this, so
Jack Quaid.
yeah. So he was one of the new, fresh, the new actors that I was excited to see. I think he was who I was excited to see most, and he was who I was saying. I was like, it's like, no, don't make him a killer. Don't make him a killer. I like him too much.
And they did.
And they
Well,
had me fooled too, because like it was kind of like right at the last minute because he was really selling it. Because like, holy shit, it's Ghostface! Like
Mm-hmm.
they really threw you for a loop too. It kind of goes back to what the first Scream did, where with Billy Loomis.
I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie. I already know he was gonna be the killer in the for the first play.
Honestly, I suspected everybody to be the killer. Like I was I was always like, I don't trust anyone.
Because for one, I actually thought that at least one of the killers was going to be Randy's niece's brother. That guy.
Randy's nephew.
Yeah, his nephew. I thought it was gonna be that. I thought it was gonna be that guy. Because at the beginning, they're all having their little conversation. So he's got bruises and all that, and you're saying no, it's just football or whatever. I was like, sure.
You want to know what would be a brilliant idea for a Scream movie? In the movie, like create like a fake kill scene for one of the characters, so that the audience won't suspect them to be the killer, and then reveal them as the killer, and then they'll explain that they faked their death.
It kind of did that with Billy.
Y- Uh, yeah,
Well,
but that
it wasn't killed at the beginning, but they did kind of pull that.
yeah, right.
But I still like the idea, like have it be at the beginning. But so I get what you're saying. That would be pretty cool. So
Yeah,
so what are you guys' thoughts on how?
Oh wait, actually no. Billy's a fake murder, that they did that in front of Sydney. So like, what if they just did it behind the scenes, like where it was just Ghostface and the other killer, that way that the audience would be more convinced that it was real, and that'll throw them
I
off,
see what you're saying. Yeah,
and it'll be like, okay, there's no way that person is faking their death.
yeah.
and
Could
this
be interesting.
yeah.
But what are you guys' thoughts on? I guess our next little bit we'll talk about here is their motives, kind of digging into the toxic fandom.
Well, it fits for a Scream movie, so I ain't no problem with it.
This and 4 might be my favorite motives for any of the killers that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like freaking Jill's motive and 4, and then a Richie's motive here. Like again, they might be my favorite motives for any killers that I've
What
ever
were their
seen.
motives again?
Oh, because in Universe and Scream, they made the new Stab movie, but it sucked. Everyone hated it. So these two got together to do these new killings so they could make it be source material for a new Scream film.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a new Stab movie.
That's what I thought.
I like that. Again, like Dick, it's commentary on toxic fandom, and you can tell that's all because of Star Wars. They're probably talking about all toxic fandom in general, but you can tell that this came from Star Wars.
And Marvel and DC, and even sports too. Like Rob posted about it earlier today, like the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, but yeah, I really like the motives here. And dude, freaking Richie went out. Oh man, I don't know which one was more brutal, burning Amber or just Richie being cut up like a stuck pig.
I can't tell either, to be honest.
But I guess that's about it as far as no. Let's talk about let's talk about the Sydney and Gale for a minute, like how we thought they were used here. Then we'll kind of wrap it up. They could have been in the movie more, but I'm not complaining because I understood that passing the torch, so mainly focusing on new characters, but they still made up for it at the end. Sydney still had her rapport with the killers. Like, I've seen this movie before, not this movie, Sydney. So I like that. And Gail gets her revenge at the end. I really like that they did that. And and I still think that even though all three of them actually didn't have a scene together, I think this movie still corrects the error of the Star Wars sequels because they all still had moments together, like because Dewey called Sydney and all that. Like do you have a gun? Want to make sure you're safe and all that. So they still had their moment, and then Dewey and Gale had their moment before he went and got killed. So I think just by that alone, they corrected the error of the Star Wars sequels. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. The satire on the satire on toxic fandom is very good. And I do think Star Wars is probably one of those toxic fandoms that people that come to mind whenever people talk about shit like that. Did they mention the Star Wars fandom in the movie?
Not directly. I think they were just. I think it was just not just about Star Wars, but just toxic fandoms in general. So I liked what they were going for there.
Ah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
your thoughts, by the way, on how they used Sydney and Gale.
Uh, like I said, I do think they could have been in the movie more, maybe, but I do think they used them pretty well. Good chemistry as always, and and they were absolutely badass in the third act.
Yep, very good. Deshaun. Oh, he's probably doing something. But I guess that's about it as far as the major beats in this. So I guess we'll not wrap up the review because I actually want us to rank these after we give our grades. But just to
Cam-
start, I really enjoyed this movie. It was a nice return to the franchise. They showed that they still got it even with new directors. The kills were good. The tension was on point. There was some good gore. They used the legacy characters very tastefully, and they made for some very interesting new characters. So I really enjoyed the final product, what they gave us. As far as a final score, I'm going to give it a. I'm going to give it an A minus and probably an 8.5 out of 10, maybe a 9.
Good.
Yeah.
Uh, Sean, you're echoing. Okay, that was weird. As I was saying, good. That's good, man. Me,
All right. So your score?
7.5 out of 10.
Very good.
9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, this is
Just
definitely one of the best Scream movies. I'm sorry. What were we saying?
Me?
No, Deshaun.
I said 9. It was 9 out of 10 for me. Even though I still got some little problem about the movie, but it's still a 9 out of 10 for me. Better than Stream 2 and 3.
I agree. Speaking of which, let's get into our rankings. I know that seems last minute, but
Oh shit.
I've let that's why I pushed the review a couple days so I could really think about this movie, my thoughts on it, and let it kind of simmer a bit and see where I'd rank them all. So I'm gonna get into my ranking, and I just want to say, like I said, this is another one of those franchises where I like all the movies. Sure, some are better than others, but I still like them all, and there's not a bad one in the bunch. So so keep that in mind with when because regardless of what I have at the bottom, just I figure I put that out there so y'all know that I like all the movies. So I don't want any toxic or hateful things in the comments to anyone watching.
Alright? Alright.
With that being said, my number 5, Scream 2. As I just said before, I still think this is a really good sequel. It moves enough things forward story wise. You know, killing Randy was a punch to the gut, and the motives for one of the killers I thought was brilliant. The other one wasn't bad. It was just too simple. But some things felt too repetitive, with Sydney's new boyfriend being the suspect, and Dewey and Gale feeling like they're just going through the same motions as the first film. Even to the point where Dewey gets stabbed again, and he lives, which, don't get me wrong, I'm glad he was alive, but yeah. Still, really good. I enjoyed it. It held up well enough. But but just not as much as when I first saw it. Number 4, Scream 3. Yes, I'm that guy. I prefer 3 above 2. Again, I personally didn't mind how they kind of changed things about what we thought we knew about the first film, and how certain things tied back to the first film with Roman and his backstory. And so all that I don't mind. I don't even mind the little voice changing device. I thought that was actually really cool. And they definitely didn't waste that story idea. So as I said before, other I you could have used more Sidney Prescott, but again, it's not about quantity, it's about how they use her with the time that she did have in the movie, and they used her really well, just as they do in all the movies. Scream 5 is proof of that. So, which you'll see much higher on this list. But yeah, it was just a better, more enjoyable sequel. Yeah, it's a bit more comedic, but I thought they made up for it by the end again with all the reveals. So, number 4, Scream 3. Uh I'm gonna piss y'all off with this one. Number 3 is the original Scream. Hear me out. Aiden, you're killing me with that. But like I said, I like all these movies. Remember that. But jokes aside, again, it saved the horror genre at a time when it was dying. It was very revolutionary. Come on, man. All right, but seriously. It was very revolutionary with its meta referential type storytelling and its commentary. And the killers were kind of predictable, but they were still very, very iconic for their personalities.
Damn right.
It's like, we're gonna live on, or we gotta plan the sequel, because let's face it, man, every Everything's gotta have a sequel. Or,
No, these days you gotta have a sequel. That's the
I always
line,
had
bro.
a thing for you, Sid.
And
Dude,
they dated in real life, so
Yep.
he actually did have a thing for her.
Yep. So, yep. Matthew Lillard is the shit, man.
Indeed.
But again, like, very good first impression with how they introduced Gale, Dewey, and Sydney. Planting the seeds from the very beginning for what would obviously become very iconic characters, so beloved characters.
Indeed.
And before these later installments came in with like 4 and 5, I always thought the original was the most brutal. Or at least it was the most brutal.
Hmm.
Or at least by the end, like, dude, Stu was bleeding out a lot. Dude.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's like, I'm feeling woozy here, man.
I think I'm dying here, man.
Yep. Oh, Stu, what would your parents think?
That he should go to a fucking mental hospital or jail.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me. Again,
Yeah.
dude, Matthew fucking Lillard, man. Now, but again, it's kind of like Halloween, where it's not much you can say. It's a classic for a reason, and don't misjudge its placement on my list, because yeah, I don't need to defend myself here. Number 3, the original. Number 2, the newcomer, Scream 5. After giving it some time to think, because I said in my first reaction that I
Wait,
feel like with time
did
that
you
I
do
feel like
Scream
this
2
could.
yet?
Hmm?
Did you do Scream 2 yet?
That's at the bottom of my list.
Oh, you haven't. Wait. So which one? Oh, so Scream 4 is that your top?
Yeah.
Didn't expect that. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
But yeah, like I said, that was kind of like my hunch, is that at best this could become my second favorite Scream film. And for right now it is. And just for first impressions, for it to be this high right now, maybe it could even end up becoming my favorite. Who knows? We just gotta let time sit with this one. But I really liked what they did here. Like we were just talking about the whole video. Um, I liked how they tied all the new characters to people from the past, especially and even with Sam being Billy Loomis's daughter. The effect was kind of weird with seeing hallucinating Billy Loomis. He was actually played again by Skeet Ulrich, by the way, which I don't know
Yep,
if y'all knew that, but
I knew
so
that.
I thought that was really cool that they got him back for that. So,
Absolutely.
and Dewey is probably the best he has ever been, or at least the best he's been since the original. I was so invested with what they did with him here. F for Dewey, man. F.
No, Dewey gets an A in my book.
Ha. But yeah. Yeah, so not much else to say. So this is my second favorite Scream film as of right now. But again, give it time, it could even possibly become my favorite. But for now, my number 1, Scream 4. I think what did it for me is, as like I said, I think just on a pure story level, I think these are still my favorite motives for any killer that I've ever seen in this whole franchise. Because again, it was kind of ahead of its time with showing how Jill wanting to be the new Sydney, and so she concocts all these murders. So I really liked what they did there. It was it's probably the most revolutionary thing that this franchise has done since the original. The legacy characters are great as always. I was kind of on the fence at first with how they were doing with what they're doing with Dewey and Gail's relationship, with the kind of friction they were having, but they made up for it at the end, even though they ended up getting divorced in the next movie, but still they made up for it by the end in this movie. And I think another thing that really does it for me is that because who doesn't love some good Carnage candy? And Scream 4 delivers probably the best Carnage candy. Come on, come on.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Poor Olivia, right?
oh yeah. It's like, fucking Molly, you're not in my closet. I never said I was in your closet.
Brilliant.
Oh, and
Mhm.
also showing Shaun of the Dead. One of possibly my top 2 favorite zombie movies. Yes, I like it even more than Dawn of the Dead. But that's beside the point. So my number 1, Scream 4. It was another movie that, again, felt like it was very ahead of its time with its commentary. So Wes had something special here. And it was a great final directing credit for him. I feel like he couldn't have went out on anything better.
Yeah. RP.
Yep. Hashtag for Wes. All right, Aiden.
Hashtag for Wes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Your ranking from worst to best.
Um, I love all the movies, so don't think that this takes away from anything. Uh, I'm gonna rank them from least greatest to greatest. Uh, 5, 3, 2, 4, 1.
5 is your least favorite? Damn.
Well, I mean, 2 is your least favorite, so
That's the most repetitive one. While still doing some pretty good story things, but still. I guess I can get it. All right.
I think 3 is the one that most fans put at the bottom.
Yeah.
I
To
mean, I
one
like
hand, I get why, but it's just me. I think Scream 3 is very underrated.
same. Oh, I still like it, but it is second last on my list. But and I same with the new one. I like it, but it's just the least great at it. It's just the least of 5 greats. All right,
Yeah.
that's my ranking.
All right, Sean, you got a ranking?
Yes, I do. I know all the movie besides one of them. They're about to go ahead and do a little rant about coming that place. Their last is Stream 3. Uh, Stream 3 was disappointing. The movie could have been better, but nah, they just want to do some stupid crap with that movie. And, I hate what they did to my boy Ghostface in that movie. Ghostface should not be only one person, it should be two. But, he or she, whatever. But, Stream 3 not the best, not the great. It's the one in the worst Stream movie all time. Maybe it might be forever the worst Stream movie all time.
Now,
It
what
was
did you say was the worst again, Deshaun?
Scream
Stream
3.
3,
Scream 2?
3.
3.
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Comment on. Oh,
Yeah.
go.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say it's understandable.
Um, comment number 4, Stream 2. I like Stream 2. I don't think it's better than 1. It show better than Stream 3. I like Stream 1, but also not the perfect sequel to the original,
Oh, Scream
Stream
2.
1. Comment number 3, Stream 4. I actually like Stream 4. When I did for a young me, excuse me, I actually thought Stream 4 was unnecessary, in my opinion, but, we now got Stream 5, so, But Stream 4, I thought, before Stream 5 came out, I thought it was necessary to make another Stream 4, another Stream movie. But Stream 4 it better than Stream 2 or 3. So also I like the kill during the movie too. So coming number 2, Stream 5. I actually enjoy the movie, but the movie is very predictable. I know that who will going to be the killer was, but it's very predict the movie. But I still enjoy the heck out of the movie, even though I almost left the movie theater first out of the movie, thanks to that opening. So, but I stick to it, stick around the movie, and I enjoy the movie. Coming number 1, well, y'all should know, Strain one of the best comedy horror movie of all time, in my opinion. Nothing beat the original. Nothing beat the original. That my list.
Very good, very good. So I guess that is going to wrap it up here for us then today on our Scream 5 review.
Yep.
I guess it just goes to show you that January really can deliver. And it's probably the first time in a long time where I've actually felt proud to be born in January. If we're gonna get more movies like this that are this good, hey, hell yeah.
Scream 1 and 2 both came out in December, my birth month.
I think Scream 3 did too as well.
No, Scream 3 was February.
Oh shit.
When Strain 4 came out.
April.
Oh damn. I thought it came out August.
But yep, I guess that is going to wrap it up here for us. Aiden, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Very good. Deshaun?
And Discord.
You can find me on Instagram. Because Instagram finally unbanned my Instagram account. Yeah, that actually happened. And also, you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Discord 7. While we're on Discord 7. So, yeah. And also, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Try to hit 300 subscribers. So, yeah. That's where you can find me at.
Goody, goody. And y'all can also find me here. I don't know what my next review is going to be, but I am going to try and get more reviews out this year, so that way it's not just Halloween oriented, but
Mm.
but come September, it is going to start becoming very Halloween oriented, so be prepared for that. But all the same, that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all for watching. Ghostface is back, man.
Peace and love. Oh, shit.
Yep.
Oh, peace
Wes,
and love.
this is for you, man. This is for Wes Craven and everything he has done for the horror genre. He would be so proud.
He would.
Yep.
It's an honor.
Later.